depths about the end of the world signs. There are 50 signs given by Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. He gives 50 signs. One of the signs, he says that oppression and many of the evil will even enter Mecca and Medina. For example, music, backbiting, evil will enter even Mecca and Medina. One of the signs, he says that homosexuality will become legalized in the world. Even in the Western world, early 20th century, people would not be able to imagine that it will be legalized in probably Britain and America. But slowly the things have come to a path where they have become legal. And likewise, there are many other signs that he has given. Some are only not evil signs, but they are signs, but they are major signs, and some are minor signs. So the minor signs are more than 50, and major signs that I've counted, these are the the revolution in Yemen, for example, or a revolt in Syria, a revolt in the Middle East, major wars. These are major signs, and when they happen, it will be months before the Messiah comes. And some signs are that they will take a bit of time. How much longer after that will the Messiah come? The traditions have not mentioned, but some traditions mention, the period. This is how long it will take after this sign happens. When the murder happens, it will take only, for example, 24 days after the murder in the Kaaba. So there are many signs that have been given in the traditions, which are known to be minor signs, and you could probably make a list of probably 100 minor signs, and a list of 5 to 6 major signs. The scream from the heavens during the month of Ramadan, and one of the major signs is that between Mecca and Medina, a place called Bayda will have a whole probably area, or a whole city will go underground. Some earthquake or something will happen that the whole of that land will slide in and will be destroyed. The whole city will be destroyed. So that is one of the major signs, that a whole city in Saudi Arabia will be destroyed. The last king should be, according to the traditions, will be murdered in Saudi Arabia. So there are many signs which are minor signs, and there are many major signs. If I was to continue for another 5 minutes, and then I'll take questions and answers. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if we look at the traditions from both sides, in the Sunni school of thought and the school of thought of the Ahlul Bayt, the Shia school of thought, one thing common, we find that the name of the Messiah is same as the Holy Prophet, and his looks and his appearance is the same as the Holy Prophet. Now, the other common thing that we find is that he is from the progeny of his daughter Fatima, Salamullahi alayha, peace be upon her. Now, one of the other signs of the Messiah from all books, from both Shia and Sunni books, is that when he appears, he will be 40 years of age, or he will look 40 years of age. According to the Shia, he will be not 40, but he will look no more than 40. He will look young. He will not look like an old person. He will look very young. He will look like a 40-year-old man. And his appearance has been described, his looks, how he walks and everything. So these are the signs that have been commonly mentioned in both the Shiite books and the Sunni books. So these are the things which are common. But there are differences on the description on will he be born or is he already born. The school of thought of the Ahlul Bayt, or the Shia school of thought, believes that he is already born and he's in occultation. In occultation doesn't mean that he's invisible. He is visible, but we do not recognize him. If we see him, he helps, he talks to the people, he guides people, but you do not recognize him. So he exists, and many people, when he reappears, will say that I met him, I saw him, for example, in a religious place, or while in Hajj, or in different places. So people, when he reappears, will recognize him. His occultation is described by the Holy Prophet, just like Joseph for his brothers. When they saw him, that he had become the king, they did not recognize him. So he will be hidden like that to the people. not that he will be invisible. He will be hidden to the people, they will not recognize him. Not that he will be invisible. So the occultation does not mean that he will be invisible. He will be visible, but he will not be recognized by the people. Now, how does he, what kind of a life does he have? These are all things that have been described to an extent, but these are all secrets, and his life is in itself a secret, in the sense that he is a living miracle of God. The Messiah himself, Jesus, and there are others like Ilyas in the concept of the Holy Quran. Khidr, for example, in the concept of the Holy Quran. These are the people who are still alive and they are on earth. The people of the cave who are still alive but they are asleep. So these are concepts mentioned by the Holy Quran which are in need of more explanation. I will only try and stick to just the Messiah. And if there are any questions now, I'll take them for the next half an hour or so.
Thank you very much. If we could take questions and answers, please. We'll take one at a time so everyone would get to ask their questions. At first, I've asked two of the guys to comment, please distribute the feedback forms. Your feedback is very valuable to us, so please take your time to fill in the forms. Could we have questions? Yes, go on, the gentleman on the left-hand side.
Assalamu alaikum. You mentioned a lot about the Messiah and the coming of the Messiah, but what about the false Messiah? Because surely he's going to be here before the Messiah. I mean, some scholars even say that we are in a certain part of his lifetime, you know, a day like a month, a day like a year, and then 37 days like our days. In your opinion, do you think we are close to that time? Do you think we're in that time? Now, you did say a lot of the signs are like in Iraq and Iran as well. So if you could elaborate, please.
We do have the concept of people who will falsely proclaim to be Messiah. People who will say that I am the Messiah. There is no other Messiah other than me, so believe in me. So there will be many, many false claims before the actual Messiah comes. In fact, there are some traditions that have actually mentioned how many false claims will happen. I do not recall the number, but it is not a very large number, but it is a large number. Something along the lines, something like 39 false claims before the Messiah will happen when he finally comes. Now, I do not believe that there will be one person that who will follow or who will live in the time of. There will be many, many false messiahs, or we should not call them false messiahs, but false claims that will continuously happen. Yeah, I understand. Now, there are two concepts. One is of Sufyani and one is of Dajjal. One, Sufyani basically will be the final evil revolution that will destroy Iraq. Basically, it's an attack from outside by a person who is probably some sort of a terrorist group or something like that. He will have an army that is called Sufyani. His name has been given, and he will come and he will have red flags or something like that. The two revolutions which are good, one will be with black flags and the other one will be white flags. So these are the flag colors that have been given. Now, as far as Dajjal is concerned, there is a dispute in the scholars on the description given by Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam on him. When Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam gives an explanation on Dajjal from the Holy Prophet, he describes him, and the description does not fit a human being, because he says that he will travel from east to west, and every